up? I got Naskin here with me. This ain't a diss song, but yeah, you know what it is. I'm a cheesehead, y'all niggas cheese whiz. Pittsburgh Steelers, that's nothing. That Super Bowl ring, that's nothing. Pull up in your town when you
Get the better of your final competitive drill again today?
We'll see when we see the tape, but certainly with the last group for sure. You know, the second group, to be honest with you, it was I think on second down it was a bang play, whether or not it was a sack or, you know, a first down to the shallow cross. But I kind of wanted them to get another play in and see how they handle third down as well. So, and then, you know, first down or with the ones, got to take care of the football. That's what happens in a game. You fumble, you're off. So that's the way it went.
Third and goal for the one, so it was either win or lose, touchdown or not. What was because it was first down, second down on some of these, was there a setup for this, or was it just a normal first down at the end of the game?
Yeah, are you talking about that move the ball period we had? That last period?
Yeah, the competitive period.
Yeah, so the goal was gain a first down, no matter how many. If it came in one play, then the next group was going. So, you know, we had the completion to Devontae there, and Jair made a great play, stripped the ball out. So.
Final drill, sorting through the protection, how valuable is that for you, watching him kind of navigate, because they brought it and he did get it out, but how valuable is that when you're looking at the tape and seeing how
It is valuable. I mean, that's paramount in playing quarterback. You better know how to protect yourself, but the operation has to be a lot faster, because you could argue that, did he get the ball off? You know, when I looked up, it said 0, and sometimes you just don't want to leave it in the hands of the official, because sometimes you get away with it and sometimes you don't.
Man, it seemed like all day, though, your offense wasn't as smooth as it has appeared at times. Day off, were you installing something new? Is there any underlying reason that you can point to?
Yeah, you know, I think it's part of training camp. You know, some days the defense wins, some days the offense wins, and you know, overall though, we got to operate with more urgency, just in and out of the huddle. You know, I don't want to have to condition these guys after practice. I'd rather that practice time be spent for meaningful reps, and the conditioning should be in practice, hustling from drill to drill, in and out of the huddle, and just practicing with a purpose. And there's a lot of room for improvement there. Do I feel salty today? No. I mean, like, it's just, you know, there's got to be a standard, and our guys have to decide who they want to be, and it starts here. It starts right here with me and our coaching staff. We've got to coach better, and but you know, there was a lot of great things out there today as well. So I just don't like the sloppiness in terms of, you know, you can always control your effort. Some of the other stuff's out of your control, but you can control your effort. You can control pre-snap penalties, the communication, leaving a guy uncovered, the quarterback center exchange. It just needs to be better.
Big plays that you guys have left out here that just haven't been made yet, in your opinion, in the first 5 practices? Have you been satisfied with how you're taking advantage of it?
Yeah, no, there's some plays that we've missed on the field. That's been pretty evident. But I think, you know, it is a work in progress. I think we're getting better in that regard, but there's still, when they are there, they got to be automatic.
Yeah, what did you learn about your team from what you did yesterday and looking back at the first 4 practices? Or were you more looking at?
Yeah, no, like yesterday we spent, I mean, once the day is done, you pretty much move on to, all right, what else do we have to do? We did a lot of like self-evaluation in terms of what's getting repped and what we need to keep practicing, and kind of planning for the next couple days moving forward.
installing a first-year offense. Is this typical stuff that you're kind of talking about here today?
Let's hope not after this.
Is this just typical stuff that you've dealt with in the past?
Yeah, I think, anytime it goes for both sides of the ball. Whether it's, first year one's usually the most difficult because there's so much information that you're giving these guys, and it tends to slow down the play. So I think the balancing act from a coaching perspective is, all right, you want to push them, but you don't want to have an information overload where it's paralysis by analysis out there. So because you want your guys, playing fast, playing physical, and sometimes you get to the stage of the game in camp, especially after a day off. Sometimes that's what you see out there.
You're wrong if I'm wrong, but you've had a 1st and 10 drill every single practice, correct?
Yeah, we will always, every day, it's going to be team run and our play pass, and that'll all be 1st and 10. We could throw some second downs in there, normal run situations, but I think it's pretty arbitrary at that point. I mean, we're going to run the ball, and then we're going to have some actions off of it.
See the battle between David Bakhtiari and Zadarius Smith, and to see Z win some of those battles up there too.
Yeah, no, I heard about it. I haven't watched the tape yet, so as soon as we're done here, I'm going to go watch those one-on-ones.
I mean, how beneficial is it to have both of those guys up against each other in practice today?
Yeah, I think Dan Quinn used to say this all the time: iron sharpens iron. So you want your best going against each other, and that's why we rep our ones versus our ones all the time, because we're trying to really push each unit to be the best that they can become.
Exactly. Did you hear about it?
I just heard there was some good competition going on down there, so I got to look at the tape. I see better than I hear, so.
Emergency comment. We've heard you say that before in here. So are you concerned that message isn't getting across to the guys? Do you have to deliver it in a different way? Are you considering different things to get their attention?
Yeah, I think you always got to look inward first and see how you're communicating with your players. And, I think as coaches, the tendency is you always want a little bit more. But, especially coming off a day off, I just think we got to be mindful moving forward about how we approach the field after a day off.
Safety position, after Adrian, I saw Jamerson, I think, out there today, and Ravens competing. When do you hope to have Savage back? Talk about the safety position.
Yeah, I hope to have Savage back yesterday, but it hasn't happened. I think he's close, nothing that we're really concerned about long term, but I think when he does come back, we'll kind of acclimatize him back into the fold. But no, I think it's, when somebody's out, it's a great opportunity for somebody else, and those are good reps that those other guys are getting, and I think they're starting to show some promise. I will say this: when I think back in my career, I think that our defensive backfield as a whole is one of the deeper units that I've ever been around. In terms of there's nobody out there that doesn't deserve to be on a 90-man roster.
What are your plans for Aaron Rodgers preseason-wise? I mean, what have you two talked about? How much do you plan to, play him during the preseason?
Yeah, I think it's something we're going to evaluate each week, and see where we are, see how much work we need to get in. But, we've got Houston coming next week, and hopefully we get enough good work within those practices and to maybe rest him that first preseason game.
Quarterbacks are pitching it and then rolling out and catching it and then throwing it. On the throw, is the idea there to everything down is covered and they're hitting a check down late in the progression?
Yeah, so it's just making use of your time. When we're doing run tracks and we hand the ball off, and you want them to practice their keeper fakes, and it goes back to practicing with a purpose. And a lot of times when you get out on the edge, your downfield routes may be covered. Can you get to that down flat?
Talking about defensive backs, how imperative is it for what you want to do to keep Kevin King on the field? Just what he brings.
Oh yeah, Kevin. Well, first of all, you look at his length and his size, and he's made plays in the past. I can think right off the top of my head, the play at 6 out was that interception he made at the end of the San Francisco game last year. So yeah, he's a really talented player, and we just got to keep him healthy and keep having him progress and get better each and every day. And I think he's done a good job of that. I like his approach. think he's a great person, and I think I think it's starting to show out there, his talent.
Matt, on the one-team period, Justin McCray kind of gave each of those three interior guys a breather, working in with the runs. Just how valuable can a guy like that be to the offensive line as a whole, as a reserve, but filling in at different spots when they need them?
Yeah, you're always looking for versatile guys. You don't necessarily want guys that you can only plug in at one spot. The more positions they can play, the better their chances are of making a football team.
Along those lines, you had Elton Jenkins at center today. I don't think he's taking any center snaps. Obviously, he's a center by trade. Why now at that spot?
Yeah, just again, just trying to get guys well-rounded. You never know. This is you never know what's going to happen, who you're going to have each and every week. I think ideally you'd like to play the same 5 all 16 games. I think last year I think we had the same 5 about maybe not even half the games. So it's just something that we're going to keep working into each of those guys, just to make sure that we feel comfortable with whatever combinations out there.
Oren Burks, is he starting to solidify a spot on that inside core at linebacker? What have you seen from him so far?
Yeah, he's a really, really talented player, but I still think there's a lot of room for growth right there. He's had some really good plays, and then there's some plays where you need better. So I think it's just the thing with him is consistency, because he's got the talent. He's a great kid. He works his tail off. He's a smart guy. It's just bringing it every day.
And I think early on, and it might have been in the run drills, we had a couple of run plays where I think Aaron Jones had a nice cutback and went into the middle and looked like he had a breakaway or things like that. Did you see some progress there in terms of your run game today, or is that just a particular play that looked?
Yeah, no, there was definitely some big holes. Our defense has to do a better job of making sure those holes are not there, because that's you cannot give up gashes in the run game.
What you would have planned with the way you ran it? I mean, isn't that?
Sure, from an offensive perspective, but last time I checked, I was the head coach, and so I want the defense to be on their, I want them to be solid as well, and it wasn't good enough.
Is there something particular that you're looking for? It looks like, and this is unscientific, but every time you guys are in a closed formation, you're running the football to the closed side. Is there something particular that you're looking for, or is that just the way the script is going?
Well, a lot of our runs are, you have two options. You can go either to the closed side or the open side, and it's all predicated on the coverage. So we're some of the fronts that we're getting. But yeah, we definitely have had a lot of open side runs as well. So we're going to try to. That's something that we're always going to be mindful of, making sure that we're not predictable for a defense, because if they know that, they're going to shut you down.